And then we have the follow-up on-site training February 9th and 10th. So it's great that you guys are already familiar with Julie and Stacy and know them well, because it's going to be a really, really good training. I think you're going to enjoy this training. You're going to, be able to complete everything with Julie and Stacy, really guiding you through the content so that you could take the most that you can away from what you're learning, which is our ultimate goal. So having said that, I'm going to turn it over to Julie and Stacy. Thank you so much for giving me a couple minutes today just to introduce myself. And I hope you enjoy your training. So reach out to me for anything you guys need. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
All right, we'll wait a couple minutes as you guys are sitting there. Make sure, go back into your email if you haven't already and join our Schoology course. Stacy's put in the chat the actual link. Remember, it's not just regular Schoology, it's ilc.schoology.com. And then she also put the code in. Remember, you have to put in that code to join our course. We're going to go through that in just a second here. To make sure everybody gets in.
I have to put it into the chat several times because you can't, if you're getting here just now, you won't be able to see past chats. So I'm not going crazy. I'm just putting it in so current people can see it.
All right, let's see, we got 31. Let's wait a couple more, about another minute, and then we'll get started. Okay. All right, we got 34 of you guys, so I think maybe we will go ahead and get started on our course. So it's good to see everybody, and I would love it if you could keep your cameras on. We're going to do some couple activities where we'll have you turn the cameras off, and that's the way we can tell if you need more time doing something. So having your camera on would be great. It also helps as a facilitator to see faces as opposed to just blank boxes. So if you can, that would be great. I want to remind us, we've been together a lot this year. We've done communication skills. We've polished our professionalism, remember, with some phone etiquette, talked about angry parents. We did our social emotional learning. And now we're doing diversity, equity, inclusion, and with unconscious bias and problem solving. All right. So let's get into some of the details. Those of you hopefully remember, I'm Julie Homan and I live in Colorado. And yes, it's freezing cold here. Actually, it's warmer than it's been. It's 19 degrees currently. Yesterday at this time, I think it was 3 maybe. So 19 is quite lovely. I've worked, this is my 32nd year in education, and you guys are still my favorite group to work with. I'm going to tell you guys that every time, and every group I meet with, I always talk about you guys. So just know that. Stacy, do you want to talk about yourself and remind us who you are?
Okay, sure. And by the way, she does do that every time we're in meetings, just so you know. I'm Stacy Christ. I am here in Arizona. I'm a retired school teacher, curriculum coach, instructional coach. My most recent job was the administrator for our 9th grade transition program at Peoria High School. I am looking forward to a hike I have coming up over in the Havasupai Canyon. We tried to do this in 2020, but with the pandemic, it got canceled. So we are supposedly going to be doing that in April, and I'm looking forward to that. It's a pleasure to see all of you again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in about a week too.
All right. Okay. And no, we are going to try to work through this without being face to face. There's some technology things that might get a little hairy here, but we're going to be fine. We're going to do it together. So let's take a little, let me first, we need you to do your attendance. So you know what I didn't do, Stacy, is I didn't put the link, or do you want to get the link? Let me try to get the link from the QR code. If you guys could scan the QR code and take it.
Does anybody not have the ability to scan it?
Well, and we also can,
I don't.
Okay, I'll get the code for you.
okay, thanks, Stacy. I'll let you do that. And we'll also be able to take attendance too, Stace, with the Google Meet link.
Yeah,
So
we sure can.
yeah, so it should not be as big of a deal. It'll be more of a big deal when we're in person. Okay, I'll give you about. Did you get it, Stace?
Having a hard time getting it, actually. Sorry about that.
Well, and I think too, we don't need to worry about as much because
Yeah.
You guys
But I
will
would
show
like
up.
that. I would have liked to. I'll work on that. So if you, by the end of the course,
Yes.
I'll have that for you. So
Perfect. That sounds great. We only have an hour together here, so we're kind of going to move through things. We're also going to complete a whole topic during this hour, so you can have one done and only have 2 more to go. And we'll talk about all that. All right. So I'm welcoming you here. Our course today, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then when we meet on next Friday, we'll see you on Thursday, but we're going to actually do our training on Friday. We're going to be talking about doing some problem solving with unconscious bias. So one reason I wanted to save unconscious bias for when we're all in person is partly because some of our topics are they're a little tough to talk about. So anyway, we'll get to that. First thing I want to do is a waterfall. So does everybody know how to use, I'm going to just share my screen so that you can see. I'm not sure if you guys use Google Meet very often, but I'm going to show you. So I'm going to share my screen. So your screen should look similar to mine right now. And what I want you to find is down at the bottom, do you see the like conversation with the lines in it? If you click on that, it'll open up the chat. All right. So now, not till I say it's time, I want you to think about like one word that can describe your day so far. Just one word. Doesn't have to be anything, you don't have to look up in a dictionary, find some special word. Just think of one way to describe your day. Could be a positive word, could be a negative word. Doesn't matter. And when I say, don't do it yet, Andrea, when I say go, and it's going to be fun. So you want to have it open on your computer. You're going to watch, and it's going to be a waterfall of one word. So once I say go, you're going to type it in and hit return. And it's going to just kind of it's going to populate all our one words. All right.
I don't know where you're talking about.
Okay, great. Thanks for asking. Over in the right-hand corner of your screen, do you see on mine down here, there's a...
Oh, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Everything good? Thank you for asking. And please, you guys, sometimes I move too fast or I don't explain correctly. Please ask. I'm always willing to stop. And you can always in this chat put questions or comments. All right. So I'm going to count to 3. So get ready. I'm going to count to 3 with your one word. You're going to type it in and then you're going to hit return. Okay. I'm going to type my word in now and then I'm going to be ready. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my.
What?
Typical. Stressful. Oh, tired. I love that.
Hey, Julie, real quick, we have one person that for some reason can't hear the presentation. Do you have any ideas on how she can troubleshoot?
Oh,
Presentation.
I don't, on my end, I wouldn't know.
If you could put her name in the chat for me, and I'll look on my side and see if there's something I can undo for her, okay?
There you are. Thank you.
All right, as we look at our typical, I like that. Hectic. Oh, I'm sorry. A lot of busy. Hungry. Yeah, I get it. Nice. It's kind of a cool way to kind of see how everybody's doing. It's called a waterfall effect. Thanks for participating. Okay, so now, and we're going to have a little bit, we're going to have a few minutes here where we can do some troubleshooting. So we can help those of you that aren't in the course, that kind of stuff. So let me first go into our agenda to see, this is what we're doing today. We're just going to, first of all, introduce our new course, familiarize ourselves with our navigation, because remember, some of it's a little confusing. So I'm going to go through that. We're going to complete topic 1. And then our expectations. Your expectations is that you're going to finish all that's in the course, which is just 2 more topics. So you'll have 1 done today, and you have to complete 2 others by the time you come back and see us next week. All right. So here is, oh, I'm almost to our technology, where we're going to work on that. But before we begin, I want you all to listen. As I thought through what we're talking about in the next, today, through your course, and then next week, is some things are going to be hard topics to talk about because of things going on in today's world. Things are going to be a little, maybe just hard is what the word I could describe. I want you to keep an open mind. I want you to have, there's going to be big thinking. So things that might go outside your regular thinking. It's okay to be uncomfortable. And we're going to talk about a saying you're going to hear is to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I want you to have grace for myself, Stacy, and everybody here, and everybody that's in the room next week. Just as we go through these topics, have grace, please. Participate, and you guys always do. You guys always participate, so I don't even worry about that. And if you have any comments or questions, please put it in the chat, and we will work with you and figure it out. Or you can raise your hand. There's a hand raise down in the bottom of your screen. In the middle, you'll see a little hand, and Tammy has raised her hand. So see, Tammy, do you have a question, or are you practicing? I bet Tammy was practicing. Okay, Tammy, if you need us, just ask. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, you guys, because we need to get everybody into the course. Is I am going to.
Julie, did you mean to be sharing your screen at all, or your PowerPoint or your presentation?
Yes, and I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Because yes, thanks, Stace. So here's where we're going to take some time. So if you have read Jill's email and you've gone in to Schoology, you've entered the code and joined the course, and you're ready to go, I want you to turn your camera off. Okay? If you have not and you need some help, I want you to turn your camera on, and you're going to pay attention to me. Everyone else, at 10:50, I want y'all to come back with your cameras on, ready to go. All right? So if you're in Schoology already, you signed up, you entered the code in, turn your camera off. If you
Claudia, do you have a question? You're muted.
I never got an email. I don't have an email.
Okay, I'll forward it to you.
We'll get it.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Claudia.
Are you
Okay.
using the Gmail or are you using Outlook?
Well, I'm going to look to see what your email is, and then I'm going to and I'm going to forward it. It went to Outlook, apparently. Thank you, Sean.
We also do have a couple of newer employees that probably were not included on that previous email. Let me just put their emails in the chat.
Yes, and we will have to do a couple more steps for them because they're going to have to get a Schoology account and then be able to log in.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Claudia, could you put sorry, Julie. Claudia, could you put your email in the chat? Just it's quicker than for me looking through 50 people. Thanks.
I found it. I got it.
Okay,
from
great.
Outlook.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
If you are brand new to the organization, I know that Jill has spent time putting people in, so you might want to look at Outlook and see if you have some information there.
And the email she sent was called ILC PD Course Access and Kickoff. That might be what you want to look for. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, it's going to have that access code that's highlighted. But remember, just like Stacy put in the chat, you have to go into ilc.schoology.com, not just schoology.com. It won't take you to the right spot.
So if you have already been, if you've already are into Schoology, you have the course up, then you are welcome to go for how many more minutes? What time should we tell them to come back?
We're at 10:48. So let's we're gonna need a little more time, aren't we? Let's like 10:52.
Okay, so come back at 10:52 and turn your cameras off. That tells me you're gone, and turn your cameras back on. It tells us that you're back. Okay. So if you have, thank you, Billy. So if you guys have individual questions, you can raise your hand. I am waiting for, I see, Billy, that you gave me names of people, so I'll check that out. But you can verbally ask us questions too, folks.
Yeah, so if you want to unmute and ask where you're at, if you log into ilc.schoology.com and you've already done our courses before with us, if you remember over here in the corner, in the right-hand corner is where the My Courses button is.
Hi, this is Luz. I don't have an account.
Luz, I'm asking right now for it from our person.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
And then you join a course right here. And that allows you to put in the code that's in the email. All right. If you don't have a Schoology account, then you will have to, first of all, get the Schoology account. It takes a couple of minutes. I think they have to send you back an email, and then you'll have to do these steps. So what you might have to do today is just watch what we're doing, and then you'll be able to go in and finish the work that we're doing. So we have Samantha. Who else needs help? Just unmute and tell us where you're at, and we can help you.
The email that Billy had posted, Destiny did not receive an ILC login email. She just started this last week, so that's probably why. If we could get that to her, that would be appreciated.
Thank you, Mason. And
what was her last name?
Machado. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
It's in the chat. Stacy, do you see it?
I'm sorry. I was looking at the list of names that they said that they set up. So I was trying to do that both, but okay.
I didn't get the email either.
And tell us who this is.
Andrea.
So if you're from StrongMind, Ashley said that it should go to your StrongMind email. If you're from Primavera, you might want to check to see if it came to your Outlook. And Destiny, I see your information. I'm going to mute myself so I can actually call Brandy because I think it's going to be faster.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm still here.
Thank you. Who else needs help?
I checked my inbox and no, I didn't receive no email.
Okay, she's calling right now. She has to start with, I think, Luz, you don't have a Schoology account, am I correct?
Yes, I don't.
Okay, so it'll take a couple steps, and that's who she's calling right now to have them first give you that, and then you'll be able to go into it with the directions from the email.
Okay, thank you.
Samantha. Samantha, have you worked? I can forward you the email. Samantha, do you have a Schoology account? Okay, go to ilc.schoology.com. Here is the code. Samantha, if you get in. Ashley, are you saying you don't have, do you need Schoology or do you need the code? Okay. Ashley, I'll make sure that Stacy gets you. Stacy, did you see Ashley too? Okay, thank you. Okay. Anyone else? And like I said, it takes more than one step if you don't have any Schoology account. So watch your email or emails. I'm not sure which one they send it to. Maybe it's the Outlook one now, Stacy. I'm not sure if we know that.
So Brandy did say that the email comes directly from Schoology and it might go to your spam folder. So if you haven't had one, I would check your spam folders.
Perfect. And also at the end, we can also stay here and make sure everybody gets in so that you all have access. Okay. We are going to actually go into the course in just a minute. So make sure that you have logged in and we're going to start up. Anyone else?
Hello, this is Mary Ellie. I just have a question. I was able to have access to Schoology. I don't have any previous courses, but once I am here, all I see is just blank. It says courses, my courses, but nothing else.
Great, perfect. So go to My Courses right here in the corner.
Okay.
And once you're there, you're going to click on Join a Course.
Okay.
And then I'll put that code back up.
Okay.
And then you're going to type in that code.
I checked my spam folder and I don't have anything either.
Okay, and
I'll forward you. Are you looking for the email?
Yes, I don't have an account.
She doesn't have Schoology at all.
Okay, so I sent your name as long with the other ones to Brandy, who is going to go back in and re-enter, and you should be getting information shortly.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bunch of steps process kind of thing. So if you need help, we're going to move on, I think, Stacy, just because of time. And those of you that don't have an account yet, just please kind of follow along. You could write down as we do the discussion boards, and you could write your answer and then type it in at a later time, just so you have that part done. All right, is everyone, are we back?
Perhaps, may I please have that access code?
Yes.
I will put it back into.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there it is.
Okay.
So what's hard is I have to click between different tabs, and it's a whole thing happening here. And know that I have a separate screen over here. That's why sometimes I'm looking over to the side so I can see things. So always please make sure and tell me if I'm not showing the right thing. All right, we're going to move on. All right. So here's where we had talked about, and believe me, we've read your feedback, and we know that Schoology gets a little confusing, and Schoology loves their clicks. They like to click a lot. I think Stacy's working in the chat, so she will keep working on those of you that don't have accounts. So those of you that are in, you should see, I think, just one course currently, correct? It's the Primavera January 31st course. Is that the one you see? If you don't see that, then you have to join it. So remember that code is back in that email. Okay, so I'm going to click on this course and it's going to open up our course. It works the same as it did the other courses that we did together. And again, I'm going to say Schoology likes their clicks. Sometimes you just have to keep clicking until you find your way back to where you need to go. And I apologize, but that's the tool that we have to use. So right here is our course. Always know on the side, if you get lost over here on the left-hand side, there is that materials button. And that will always take you back to where the course actual link is. All right. And know that if you have trouble or you can't find it, probably one of your coworkers might be able to help you. If not, reach out to me and I will be more than happy to get on a meet and talk you through it. All right. So if you click on that and you open it up, it has a couple things. Again, another link to the course, and then just some resources, just a quick little pacing guide, Schoology navigation tutorial. But here is our course. Here's all of the stuff that we need. If we open that, you should just see one module. Everyone thumbs up if you see one module. I see two, and eventually you're going to see two because that's our second module, but I've hidden it from you. So you should not see this one. You should just see the top. Tammy, question. Oh, okay, you're fine. All right. Okay, so if we click on our module, again, same layout that we had last time. Here's the content of your course. This is where you go and you read articles, you do little graphic activities. This is the content. Then down here are your discussion questions. And kind of the cool part, you guys, is I got to write the content. So I made it, it's not content from a course that we did with teachers for 9 weeks. It's content that you can complete in a week and get it done. So know that I totally respect your time, and this shouldn't take you much time at all. So we are going to click on the first discussion 1.1. Does everyone see that? Remember, if you are someone that hasn't gotten into the course yet, just do this on paper. All right. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And it brings us to our first discussion question. Give me thumbs up again if you see what I see. Okay, I love it. Oh, I like the thumbs up that explodes. Perfect, nice. Okay. So here's our first our thoughts. We want to get into diversity. Okay, that's our first topic, is diversity. And what I want you to do is there's a little sentence there, okay? And it says, I am, and it's a blank, but I am not blank. Okay? You don't have to do this about yourself necessarily. You could do this just in general. So your I am needs to be followed by some kind of identifier, like a gender, race, and I'll give you my example. Age, like I am an old lady. I am a young man. So it doesn't have to be specific. It can be generic. And then the but I am not, you want to do it followed by a common stereotype. Okay, look at my example. I am a librarian, but I am not frumpy. I did this on, well, hopefully I did it for myself. I hopefully am not frumpy, but I decided I am a librarian. That was my self-identifier, but I'm not frumpy. Okay, so I want you to think of your sentence. As you scroll down, you should be able to write in the box at the bottom. Is that working for everybody? Thumbs up if you can write in the box. Okay, good. Whew. Okay, so in the box, you're going to type in your sentence. I am a librarian, but I am not frumpy. Period. And I'm going to post it. Okay, you should all see my post. And then we should start seeing other people's posts. So type in your sentence. Remember, this is how you get credit for the course. So as you complete the tasks, and we're trying to get them completed now, you will get credit for it. Anyone have a sentence? I don't know. I'm going to refresh. Yes, you have to refresh. Ah. Oh, Claudia, I love it. I'm a woman, but I am not a bad driver. Good one. Ooh, good ones. Now, as you're sitting there and we're waiting for more people to get their sentence in, if you want to comment on someone else's, you could just comment and say, I love it. Good sentence. I agree. I don't agree. And the way you comment, oh, does it allow you to comment? All you have to do is hit reply and you just comment on someone's. I'm going to refresh again. You guys are good. These are great. I like Kate's old but not gray. And I like how Sean told her that she's lucky. Very lucky, because it's expensive to not be gray. Oh, Julia, thank you. Julia's a millennial, but she's not lazy. I love it. Awesome. These are great. So as you go throughout your day, those of you that didn't get a sentence in, Go ahead and put a sentence in. If you didn't get a comment, comment.
It's kind of weird. I just put my answer in, but it's showing under Destiny's name.
Well,
I don't think she would have used the same as me.
let's see. That's Belly.
At least on my end, it's showing her name.
I'm trying to find you. Hold on.
Yeah, it showed it as Destiny Machado.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, well, she said the same thing I did, and that wasn't really a...
So we may have to look at that, Stacy. Would you take note of Destiny and Billy, and we'll look at what's happening there? That's bizarre.
That has been the day, though, Julie.
Oh, I hear you. And so we'll make sure you guys get both credit for this. So just if you make a note, Stacy, we'll get on with that. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the content. Okay. So if you haven't gone into the discussion board, because I'm going to go in like I normally do, and I'm going to give points to everybody that puts in their comment, puts in their discussion board, the initial post, and then hopefully you can comment on each other. Discussion boards are only as good as they are if you discuss and comment on each other's. All right. Okay. So here's the part in Schoology that is crazy. How do you get back to the content? Because if you click next, it'll just take you to the next discussion question. We want to go back. So one way is here, and I wish it was easier. If you don't find that link, you can go to materials and click there. Again, it's just about clicking and finding your way. And I apologize again. So if we open up, we're going to go to module 1. So now just watch my screen. Don't play it on your side. I will go through stuff with you. So I just clicked on the content. I don't know if I went and I clicked on this is your content. Here's your discussions. Here's your content. So if I click on that, it's going to open up our course. All right. Familiar to some of you, hopefully. I'm going to play this quick short video.
Hey, Billy, I got your message. Can you give me thumbs up that you can hear me? It's Stacy. Okay, so she, when Brandy went in, she mixed your name up with Destiny. She was going back in and fixing that right now. So you should have that fixed. Okay. Everybody else who has not been able to get in, you should be fixed. And I'm sorry for talking over everybody.
That's all right. Okay, so that's just a quick little short video. And remember, and I enlarge my screen by clicking on these arrows up here. Otherwise, I would just be right in the course. All right. And remember with our courses, those of you that have taken them before, or if you're new, over on the left, similar to Schoology navigation, you can get to the topics over here on the left. All right. So we're working on diversity, but I'm just going to hit continue and move on. And I'm actually going to open this up in a larger window so that it's easier to see. Same thing that where you're at. All right. So we're talking about diversity. And remember that your supervisors give us the topics that they would like you to go through. And what's kind of cool this time is that on the days before we meet with you, the leadership team is actually doing almost the same training that we're going to be doing. So all these are important topics, no matter what, but also its leadership is also talking about these topics. So I love this quote: different roads sometimes lead to the same castle. So remember, we're thinking of diversity, all right? So in each of the modules of the topics, I talk about the actual definition. What is diversity? And then I want to talk about how we're going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about by having a range of people with various racial, ethnic, socioeconomic, cultural backgrounds, and various lifestyles. Primavera, actually, your team is very diverse. Think about it. When I look around at everyone that you work with, it's a very diverse team. I have a quick video, and I'm going to show this. It's another, like, I think it's 2 minutes long. It's just kind of to get you thinking about diversity.
At a very young age, we learn to make a distinction between you
and me.
Simple, right? But what if somehow
I could see the world from your perspective.
and you could see it from mine? Think for a second. I know all your hopes and dreams.
E tudo que te incomoda.
और आपको भी वो पता चले मेरे बारे में.
You know what it's like to have a daughter who struggles with, is she Black enough? Is she white enough? You would know what it's like to not have enough confidence to express your ideas.
You'd know what it would be like for people to take your culture and turn it into a theme party.
You would know that every time that you say you have a husband, people pause.
To be gender non-conforming.
To be comfortable being uncomfortable a lot of times.
You know what it's like to lose your little brother to HIV.
You'd know that there is struggle and pain, but also a lot of hope.
And suddenly
we would see
That although our lives are very different,
They are also very much the same. And that bigger than you and me
is us.
Novel.
And as us, we know this.
You don't have to look like us. Worship like us. Live like us.
or love like us.
To stand with us. Of course, you'll always be you.
And I'll always be me. But there's nothing stopping us.
There's nothing stopping us.
There's nothing stopping us.
There's nothing stopping us from becoming us.
Ngote.
Nitsitebi. Kami. Nosotros.
Woman.
Nós.
We're stronger as us. We're stronger as allies.
All right. I love that video. It just kind of gets you in the, kind of gets you thinking about diversity. Stacy, do we have anything in the chat that we need to worry about for the class, or are we just still with people logging in?
I am working with Travis right now. If you have not been able to log into the course yet, please put that information into the chat. I think we've handled most of it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So there's our first video. So now, those of you that are in the course, we are going to take, we don't have much time. So we are going to take like 5 minutes. I'm going to give you, and again, you can do the same thing. Turn off your camera. I want you to read these 2 paragraphs. This article is a great article to read. Maybe once we get off the call, you can go back and read. It talks about 15 different examples of diversity. I also want you to click through. These are little activities where you just click and open up the button and read through them. So I'm going to say 5 minutes. So let's come back at 11:20. And then we'll move on. So take 5 minutes. You can turn your camera off. You can keep it on. It's whatever you're comfortable with. 11:20. Come back and we'll talk about it. Stacey, are you talking to us? Because you're muted.
Hate when that happens. So if you can't go anywhere because you're not logged in, and you can't go and read, please let me know. But Brandy said that she's gotten everybody, so that means you might have to go back to your emails to look for the original email that she just sent you that will log you in.
Here's the link to the article if you want to just at least look at that. It's in the chat.
Good idea.
Yay, Samantha.
I think I need help. I'm in the class, but I don't find the article. Where should I go and find the article?
Are you in? Let me go back here.
Oh, I think I need help navigating the class.
Sure. Let me see if I can help you. Are you? Let me get this part open. Sorry. Okay. Are you at least in here or no?
I'm in where it says welcome to the course, course content, where it says materials.
Excellent. So you have this?
Let me see.
If you click on,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
click on that link. And then the same link again.
On the same, okay.
And then do you see module?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Click on that. It's a lot of clicking, I know. And then the second link where it says diversity, equity, inclusion.
Okay.
That will take you in.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
And it's a lot of clicking. And then start. And then you just kind of scroll down and you can hit continue or come over here and go to diversity.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. I'm going to bring us back together because we're running out of time and we want to honor your time. So we had down at the bottom kind of the 4 real common types of diversity, right? Gender, racial, ethnic, and age. Did anybody in the article or in these drop-down menus, did anybody find anything that surprised them, stood out to them? You can either type it in the chat, you can say it, unmute and say it. And like I said, if you didn't have a chance to read the article, I would recommend going back. It's a good article and it just, it's pretty short, just talks about a bunch of different types of diversity. Kate, thank you. Diversity of experience, didn't know what that, oh, excellent. So you learned that. Perfect. And again, and I don't think I mentioned it, but we're covering very, very top level of these topics. So we're not going deeply into any of them. We're just doing like a real top surface level. All right. Yes, Stacy.
You know what? I never, ever, ever thought of location diversity. It never even dawned on me. It never, ever, ever even, I never thought about it. And so to me, that was an eye opener when I read that article.
Do you have an example of that?
Well, yes, actually I do. My friends here all know that Arizona is a little bit different than a lot of other states. And so on one occasion, somebody wanted to do something here in a presentation. And I said, well, you do know that my legislator just voted against that, and we cannot do that. So that's a good example of location diversity. So
that's a great example. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew that was actually called? Like, yeah. And as we're going to find as we move through, there's, especially with the unconscious bias, there's many different biases as well. All right, we're going to move on. And as I scroll down, and of course, due to time, I'm not going to, we're not going to get to spend as much time as we wanted to. So again, I'm going to tell you to go back in and spend some time. But this is just talking about the why and about diversity. And this article is also a great article to read. Again, I picked articles that pertained and that would hopefully pertain to you and your life. So I would highly recommend that you go back and read it. I was going to read the paragraph. Well, we'll go ahead and go through. Her article does talk about diversity of expertise, but confers benefits that are obvious. You would not think of building a new car without engineers, designers, and quality control experts. But what about social diversity? So it talks about social diversity. What good comes from diversity of race, ethnicity, gender, and sexual orientation? Research has shown that social diversity in a group can cause discomfort, rougher interactions, a lack of trust, greater perceived interpersonal conflict, lower communication, less cohesion, more concern about disrespect, and other problems. So what is the upside? So you have to think of there's pros and cons of diversity, right? The fact is that you want to build teams and organizations capable of innovating. You need diversity. So if you want innovation, if you want teams that work together and you have a bunch of people with different ideas, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different genders, that's diversity. And again, I'll say it again, Primavera has a good, a lot of diversity within the staff that works there. So that's kind of a great thing. The final quote down here at the bottom, I wanted to talk about, is being exposed to diversity can help change the way you think. So keep that in mind as you're reading about diversity. There's a pros and cons list. Hopefully there are cons, but hopefully the pros outweigh the cons. Here you have a little interactive that helps you think about incorporating diversity. And that's kind of how the other two topics go. It talks about what equity is, what inclusion is, maybe some ways that you can use it within your life, personal life, and work life. So these are just little pluses, and it allows you to click on it, and it comes up with little ideas of incorporating diversity. All right. Okay, and then we move down and look, we're done with unit 2 or unit 1. So hold on. I'm going to go back to my presentation. And we're going to talk about expectations before I turn you loose to do your final discussion in topic 1. So let's talk about expectations. So expectations is diversity is completed today. So by the time we get off the call, you'll be able to go in, finish up topic 1. Just get it done. And we only have one more discussion to do. Then on your own, between now and when we meet again, I would shoot for the 9th. You'll be doing training in the morning on the 9th with another person. We'll be there to support you. But the morning of the 10th is when we're moving on to the next part of the course that we're doing all in person. All right. So you're going to do equity. There's 2 discussion questions in equity, and there's 2 discussion questions in inclusion. Remember, always post your first response and then try to comment on one more person. That makes the discussion richer and just better. Then I want you to think about some things to think about before you come. I want you to start thinking about your team and how equity, diversity, and inclusion applies to your team that you work with every day. And you guys have, like, I'm not sure how you do your teams now, if it's all just by job title, if you have different types of teams, but I want you to think about that, how you work together at work. And then I want you to get excited because, again, we get to come together as a large group. We're at a different location, a different hotel. It looks really nice. And we get to all be together. We get to spend time together. Sometimes you don't get to spend time because you're so busy answering calls and doing your work. So we get to spend time together. We get to learn new concepts and apply them to help better our personal and professional lives. So like the SEL stuff that we did, it applies not only to your work life, but also your personal life. And there was one other thing you were going to remind us, Stacy, about, our supplies. So make sure when you come that you bring your laptops, and make sure you have Schoology already in and set up. You bring a writing utensil. Sometimes we get where we don't have the writing utensil, and some type of paper or something you could take notes on. Okay.
We will have breakfast both mornings and a lunch to go, a boxed lunch to go, just so you know that's happening. If you want to bring some snacks, we never mind if you eat or drink when you're there as well.
No, thank you for putting that in. Okay, I'm going to go back into our Schoology course because I want to end with you finishing up the last topic or the last discussion. Remember, you can always get into the course and go back into it and read about diversity and those articles. Okay, then as you come back to module 1, hopefully you've already answered your first discussion question. Your second discussion, 1.2, this is hopefully to be done today, you can make this your goal, is throughout your day, you deal with a diverse group of people. And this could be your whole day. What are some challenges you have at either work or outside of work that make things difficult for you? What are the positive aspects of interacting with a diverse group of people, either at work or outside of work? Okay, and remember, every time you have a discussion, post your first, and then you could wait a little bit and then go back in and post a comment or something on another person's post. Oh, nice. I see some people have already gone in and posted. That's exciting. So do we understand our expectations? The biggest expectation is that you are done with all of these discussions and you've read the material in the course. So you move on to equity. And I share my right screen. And equity is similar to diversity. Again, they're not really long. There's some articles. Then you move on to inclusion. Okay. Then you make sure you've answered 1.1 to 1.6. And when you come, you're ready to roll next week. Questions?
Before anybody gets off, I do want to say if you're having any difficulties, please stay on when she ends so that I can help you. And also, Julie will be putting up in a moment the QR code for attendance. I still don't have that link, but I will go to the information I have about this particular presentation with you guys, and I'll get your information from there.
Yes, and I'm sure as you logged in, I think it took your email, so we'll know. And I'm not sure what they're doing with that. That's all I know. Okay. I'm so excited to see you guys again. I'm so excited to come to Arizona. And hopefully I can take off this really warm sweater when I'm there. And look forward to seeing you guys. Like, as always, you're such a fun group to work with. And yeah, stay on the line. As my mom always says, she always says, I'm going to get on the line and look something up. So we'll stay on the line. If you have time, this was just a quick, short introduction. You could fill out this survey. I don't have the QR code again. Stacey, we need to start putting those links in. If not, thank you for joining us.
Did you put it up, the QR code up?
Oh, it helps when I do, yeah. And I'm not sure, this one looks like it has a, anyway, you're done. So you guys can leave, finish your discussion, respond to someone, and then equity inclusion, and I'll see you next week. And take care. If you have any questions, please reach out to either one of us. We're here to help. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody. See you next week. Thanks, Kate.
So Stacey, I'm going to stop the recording now.
Sure. And then Sean, you have a question, you can come on. I think Sean had a question.
No, that was an accident. Sorry.
I love that when it happens because I do it all the